driving home, but I'm watching the freeway and not the camera. It's convenient how that happens. It's Wednesday afternoon, and pleasantly surprised. My wife, Melinda, if you've watched a previous webisode, has been on the hunt for these little Lego figures. I can't begrudge her. When I get on the hunt for something, I do the same thing. It's fun to do that, though. I used to do it with Star Wars toys, and now I do it with NASCAR stuff, and so she's doing it now. So, anyways, she wanted to know if I wanted to join her at Furs on the way home. And who am I to turn down the tasty buffet of Furs on Oracle? So anyway, I'm driving home, and pretty happy with the way the show went today. Although, it's unfortunate that people have their selective hearing, and that is over the fact that people listen and hear what they want to hear, or what they think they're hearing, and not actually what I'm saying. Because I was talking about the upcoming Cyclovia event, which is fine. People don't understand what I'm saying. The Cyclovia event, if you don't know, it's an event modeled off an event that happens in like Bogota, Colombia, every weekend, where they shut down a bunch of streets and open them only up to two-wheeled bicycles, essentially. You walk and your dog and all that kind of stuff. It's a street fair, but it's for bikes. Okay, whatever. It's nice. It's fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's not an evil event. It's a time when families can get together. The only problem that I have with it, and I mentioned this on the air, I support bikes. We're a very bike-friendly community. We do enough for bikes. One could say, and I will say, we do too much for bikes and not enough for cars. When you have the RTA spending $300,000 to renovate 4 feet of roadway on the side of the road for bikes, but not fix the roads over by 4th Avenue, you got a problem. But this event, they have 6 goals. One of the goals was to show that Tucson is a progressive urban community. You've got to look deeper than just the Cyclovia event bringing families together, and you got to look at that whole line of progressive urban community. Progressive for a lot of people means, well, you know what? We're not driving around in our cars, and we're being green, and we're supporting bicycles and that kind of transportation. And no, it really is. It's regressive, not progressive. They're pining for a time when there's an opining. They're longing for a time when we didn't have so many cars on the road, and in their minds we didn't have all the pollution and the global warming and CO2 emissions and blah 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 blah. Ultimately, and I mentioned this at the end of the show, ultimately it comes down to this idea that we are a progressive community, which all that means to me is that we're a community that doesn't embrace business. We're a community that prioritizes incorrectly, that pushes for a lot of green stuff that isn't viable or sustainable. And when I see events like this, I get reminded of that. I get reminded of how many Democrats there are, and how many of the environmental wackos actually still influence the city council. And I'm harping on it. I know I'm harping on it, and I'm probably being too harsh. But there are those that sit back and they go, yeah, they do that up in Bogota, Colombia, and they do it in Portland, and they're all just so green, and It's a lot of style and a little bit of substance. We have our own Cyclovia in the family. We Cyclovia the other day. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. Right on our own subdivision. Me and my 8-year-old and my 4-year-old, we got on our bikes, and we rode around streets, and they didn't have to be closed. They didn't have to be limited to cars. We just watched where we were riding. And sometimes we actually rode in the middle of the road. It's amazing, isn't it? I know I'm being a snit. Anytime I see, it shows how progressive Tucson is, I just go, we cannot sustain ourselves off being progressive. All right, there you go. Oh, and to everybody who thinks I'm anti-bike out there, I'm not anti-bike. Not in the least bit. Somebody actually called me a progressive for suggesting that people that ride bikes ought to pay a bicycle license. Well, if you're going to complain about the roads, you're not putting any money into it. Riding your bike on them. We are riding our automobiles on them. Fair is fair. SE Cup live in studio Friday. The luncheon with SE Cup. Lowe's Ventana, 11 o'clock on Friday as well. I hope you can make it out. It's going to be a good time. And all the details are available if you're watching this at 1041thetruth.com on the website right below me. So have a great one. Bye.